So if you can, kind of boil it down for us, explain what HAMP and HAF is and how they can help the consumer, please.
Okay, perfect. Like I said, HAMP stands for Home Affordable Modification Program. You're thinking, well, why would I want to consider modification if I'm made the commitment and I've made the decision that I'm going to go forward with a short sale? Like I said earlier, the reason is the government didn't set up certain parameters in order to be eligible for HAFA. They just said, see if you can meet the criteria for HAMP. You will have to apply to see if you're eligible for a modification. And if so, then we can run you through the HAFA process. The parameters and requirements for eligibility under HAMP are, it needs to be your primary residence. That doesn't mean that you have the homestead exemption on your property. It means this is the place where you sleep most nights, this is a place where your mail is delivered. There's a difference between the designation of homestead for the property appraiser and tax purposes versus the constitutional definition for homestead, okay? Your loan needs to be under $700 and some thousand. You can read all about this on the website makinghomeaffordable.gov. The loan has to be instituted prior to January 1st of 2009, and you have to have what's called a investor by the name of Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. If it's Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, those are called governmental servicing entities, and they are the investors of the loan. And the fifth qualifying factor, this is very important, anybody who is an obligor, that means the person who is responsible for the repayment of the promissory note. You take their monthly gross income and you multiply it by the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and any association fees. If that number results in a greater than 31% ratio, now you've met that last qualification. Those are the 5 factors in determining HAMP. Now, if you can be eligible for HAMP, then you can go through a HAFA short sale. There's specific important benefits of going through a HAFA short sale. They are that in the event there is a remaining outstanding indebtedness, which that's kind of the concept of short sale, then the lender is required to forgive, write off, cancel that indebtedness. The other benefit is that you will be paid at the closing table $3,000 in relocation fees. So those are 2 very strong benefits of being able to qualify and go through the HAFA program. I want to go back to HAMP and mention something. As of December 28th, I mentioned the difference between Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and they're being called governmental servicing entities. Months ago, when HAMP and HAFA were enacted, there were also non-GSEs, non-governmental servicing entities. And those were all of the other servicers, Bank of America, Citibank, you know, the list can go on. The government said it is voluntary participation for the non-GSEs, okay? If you can follow me here, if your servicer or investor is a non-GSE, as of December 28th, that 31% qualifying factor is no longer relevant. Okay? The downside of it, though, is the non-GSEs can set up their own parameters, which means Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac can say they're going to accept 20 cents on the dollar, okay, as far as a value for the property, but the non-GSEs are not required to do anything other than what they decide internally. And the problem with that is in the event they sit around the boardroom and they say, well, you know what, we're only going to accept 90 cents on the dollar, it's completely unproductive for everybody. Absolutely.
It's a waste of time.
So that's your HAMP and HAFA right there.
Beautiful.